And then just like that, it clears up again. Wow. There it is, up there. It's gone already. Hi there, and thanks for joining me. It's going to be a bit of a strange old day today. It's lovely at the minute, but it is freezing. It's the beginning of April. It's been really, really cold, bitter. It was snowing this morning and they reckon it's going to snow again. It's very squally. I hope the microphone picks all this up okay. I'm on a different field, hooray! It's not quite as I'd like it. It's a bit furrowed still, but it's very Roman here and I've been waiting to come on here for ages. My beloved pasture is all the way in the distance. You can see the beginning of it here, but the bit I've been having real success on recently is right over the back there. I suspect I won't be able to resist going on it eventually, but we'll have a go here in this lovely sandy soil. I haven't been here very long, would you believe it? A tiny little signal and I've already found a little cut half. Not in the best condition perhaps, but really, really lovely. I don't expect to find things like that here. It's not really particularly good for sort of medieval stuff, but that's a lovely start. However, on an old map, there is a footpath that runs from there right across here to there. An old footpath, and I'm trying to vaguely follow where I think that might be running. So you never know, that might have been on the footpath for all I know. Anyhow, really good start. Thrilled. Well, would you believe it? It's starting to snow. It did forecast this, I must say, but still. And I've just found my first Roman coin. I might have to take some shelter in a minute. Hooray! This is what we were here for. Nothing particularly special, I don't think. I can definitely see an emperor though. Or rather, look, yes, it's one of the girls, I think. Hooray, I like finding the girls. I like finding the girls. Anyway, I think we better get some shelter. Well, this is such an odd day. It was snowing a second ago. And now the wind's died down completely and it's sort of all right again. Completely mad, I love it. Right. That's quite punchy, but let's just hope. I'm hoping for another Roman coin. Well, we're out very quickly. Yay! I'm in this sort of Roman little area here. Right, I can see a figure on one side and another not particularly good emperor on the other. Two not particularly wonderful coins, but it's a good start. It's a good start. Lovely to be finding Roman things again. It's my favourite era. Gosh, they are all over the place today, which is really good. Not in particularly good condition anything at the moment, but clearly Roman. That one's got the two soldiers and the two standards, which is sort of Constantine onwards. The camera keeps blowing over. You're going to get the same view because the wind's coming that way. You won't hear me otherwise, I'm afraid. But I found about 6 of these coins now. That's the latest one. They're all a bit sandy and I really need to take these home, clean them up. This one was just lying on the surface. That's the best of the lot. Quite an early one. I can see a sort of early goddess on the back, without it being the sort of House of Constantine ones, which are emperors and captives and people stabbing each other and altars and things like that. They're a bit more advanced. The sort of earlier coins tend just to have a goddess or god or someone on them. I've also found a lovely little belt mount, I think, of sorts, and a really lovely strap hem with the buckle still intact. That looks quite modern, but I don't think it is. I don't think it can be. Hi there, welcome to headquarters. Here are all these Roman coins. Sorry for the lack of photographs, etc. It's mainly because they're not in particularly good condition, and the reason I've left them uncleaned is because I'm going to do a video on using the composite cleaning pencil on Roman coins, and these are just ideal for the purpose. So I'm leaving them as they are until I do that video, and I'll clean them all up and see how they come out. Then I can put proper photographs out of them. But more importantly, let's get rid of those. I want to look at these two buckles because I found another one quite far apart. The first one I found in the sandy section, and this I found, almost a mile away in the pasture. On first impressions, especially this one, it looks brand new, and it's quite army up there where I was. There are lots of badges, insignia, rifle rounds, all sorts of things, leading to the fact that there were probably camps up there during the Second World War. The closer I look at this, it really looks like it could be made yesterday. The technology is so close to what they might look like now. But on a bit of inspection and research, I mainly use Chris Marshall's Buckle ID webpage. It's really easy to find. Put buckle and ID into Google and it will come up almost immediately. But it's a really, really good reference website for buckles of all ages. And these actually date to, they're medieval. They date to 1350 to 1500. They are technically known as, got it right here, loop with rotating closure. That's the rotating closure. These ones are in really good condition. That one looks like it has some of its medieval zigzag on it. Anyway, I put them on the detectinghub.co.uk and they confirmed that it's what I thought they were. And I'm really pleased with them. I don't think they're particularly common, and just in such good condition, and just goes to show how little technology has changed over the years. When, they still look, to me, they look new, but no. They are medieval folding strap clasps, and I'm really pleased with them. Tasky, come here. Come on. Up. Come on. This is the time of the video that I prove that Tasky is alive and well, and just so wild at the moment that I can't take him on land which I don't know really well. If it's somewhere I know really well, then he can run around till his heart's content. If it's on land that I don't know so well, I can't afford him to run off. He will always come back. He's brilliant. He comes back. But the default setting is chase and kill. And until he calms down a bit, which will probably take 5 or 6 years, you can only really come out with me in certain areas. Anyway, here he is. He will come out. He's still a fine hound. Thank you very much for listening to all that, and let's get back to the fields. And I don't know what this is, but it looks broochy. Definitely bronze, but it's got some sort of metal, definitely sort of iron, all going on there, wrapped round it. It gave a horrible sound. No idea what that is, but definitely old and interesting. I suspect a brooch of sorts. Anyway, it's just great to be out here finding Roman things. Hooray! Well, I'm not doing much live at the moment because it's just too windy. Setting up's a nightmare. It's not fun at all. It's lovely setting up the cameras when the conditions are good, but at the moment it's doing my head in a bit. It's too cold and windy. But this is one of my favourite coins. I love finding these. This is really special. It's the Roma commemorative with Rome on one side and the wolf on the other. It's not been particularly well struck, but you can clearly see what's going on. You've got the twins Romulus and Remus there, and then the goddess Roma on that side. Really lovely little coins these. I love finding these. And I found quite a few more Roman coins, nothing particularly special, not good enough to show you. This one's quite nice. It's almost certainly a barbarous one, which is basically, for all intents and purposes, a contemporary copy of a Roman coin. You can generally tell because they're just quite crude, and often they have the radiate crown, hence the term barbarous radiates. So that's nice. And then this, which I haven't completely cleaned up yet, as I don't have a clue what it is, but nice and unusual. And unlike most of the things I'm finding here, definitely slightly more, well, flat on one side and some design on the other. I have no idea where even to start on that, but it looks nice and old. Bloody hell, this weather. Look at those snow clouds over there. I think they've missed me, fortunately, but crikey. Well, I got blown off that field eventually. It's just too exposed. It's not an awful lot of fun. It's really, really cold. I felt like Scott of the Antarctic. But I might give this bit of pasture a quick hour. They used to have an electric fence here, which meant that this bit of the pasture was almost impossible to do, but they've taken it down. So I think this is going to blow down this camera. Oh, I think it might be quite fun. I found a few more Roman coins back there, and so 11 in all, which is brilliant, and a really, really cool little entire buckle with its strap end included, which I'm absolutely thrilled with. That's so pretty. Not Roman, but medieval, I think, but really, really lovely. I'm thrilled with that. I'm not going to do any live digs. It's just too crazy and horrible setting everything up just to watch cameras blow down. So let's just hope you find a couple more bits and I'll show you them. Well, for a moment the wind died down and it was lovely and calm. And now it's picked up again. It's probably going to start snowing. But I don't really care because I've just found something really cool. It's quite punchy sounding. It's a really lovely strap end stroke buckle with its original gilding still showing, and the most beautiful sort of star shaped emblem on it. I don't know what it means, who it belongs to, but wow, things like that just, well, it's worth coming out for. It's been a really cool day, but tricky too. But it's been warm enough to take my gloves off, and it's amazing how much more control you have when you don't have gloves. I can't really explain it, but it just feels much freer. Anyway, this is quite loud. It could easily be a ring pull. I've dug a lot of those today as well. Well, that's good. It's lovely. Good that it's still there. But as I said to some people in my last video, I can come up here and not find anything. It's not always roses, sadly, but quite often is too. Well, that's not encouraging because it's very deep still, which means it's going to be a big lump of lead. Yeah, that sort of sound, that sort of, I mean, it could have been on the surface, the way that sounded. And it's still there. Well, I think it's out. Big lump of lead. Yup. A very big lump of lead. Well, the wind's really picking up again, but it's got a bit warmer. I've been digging mostly ring pools because I'm in an area I've been before, and I'm digging those obvious signals I've left, and there's quite often there's a good reason why, but this sounded just like them, but just very slightly different, very slightly duller. It wasn't very deep. It's another jeton. I found hundreds of these up here. They're all in beautiful condition. It's a Nuremberg one with, I can't remember what's on the other side. It's the Rosen orb. Anyway, really, really nice. I think we might end on that, as I feel completely blown away. And it's been tough on this pasture today. I've been avoiding anything with an iron grunt as well, because that's been a mouldy cartridge. So all the things that could be good on one day have not been, but we have found that lovely buckle and that, and I'm thrilled. Thank you very much for joining me, and see you next time.